So today was day one, our first training session. Not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous. I'm not sure exactly what I was nervous about. It was more that when the kids are sitting there and they're waiting and like they're acting under your guidance, so you are the one making sure everything is fun, that they're having a good time. But not only are they watching and listening to everything that you're saying, the parents are there watching, listening to everything that you're saying. And if they're anything like me, they're thinking, I wonder what this is for. I wonder if they're having fun. I wonder if he knows what he's doing. And to be honest, I didn't exactly know what I was doing. This was really my first time coaching. I had experienced it filling in for like my younger sister's team like years and years ago. And aside from that, it's very much new to me. So I have two sons. One is 6 years old, one is 7 years old, and my youngest started playing basketball earlier in the year. That term is over, and now they're going into the new term. My eldest son was encouraged by watching him play that he decided to give it a shot. My oldest is a bit more hesitant when it comes to trying new things. He tends to sometimes feel overwhelmed and would just rather stop without trying something new. Like he'll get into it and like, yeah, I'll try this. And then as soon as he gets to either practice or into a game situation, or when it comes to listening to a coach, he kind of freezes up and then just will freak out and say like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And will shut down completely. And it's kind of hard to get him to try new activities. As a kid, I want him to do as much as he can and learn about the world before he's a grown up. And that's probably the hardest thing to do with him, is harnessing his excitement to try something new and then get him to try and follow through on it. Our youngest really didn't have that problem with anything he's done. He does get a little bit like nervous at the start, but then he can get really absorbed and involved in whatever it is he's doing. And he's not afraid to try something new. When it came to basketball last term, he was playing with a lot of his friends from his year level, so he was having a great time. He felt very comfortable. And it was amazing watching him grow and try something new and, learn and develop. He came a long way in a couple of weeks, couple of months that he was playing. So just by the way everything worked out, my two boys are able to play in the same under-8 year level. They both have their birthdays in the same month, and because my youngest is on the younger side of his grade, they can both play in under-8s, which is really cool. And my eldest filled in last term for one of their games, so I got to see them playing together just randomly one Saturday. They needed a fill-in to be able to fill the squad, and he was brave enough to put his hand up and say, yeah, I'll help. And, he did his shutdown thing where he didn't want to play anymore, like a minute into the game. After like I put my arm around him, we had a bit of a talk about what to do because he felt a bit lost being out there, didn't know what to do. He went back on and he had a great time, and seeing them play together was amazing. I never thought that I'd be able to see them play in the same team for something, because I know how sometimes the sporting world works, where especially in school, where you don't always get to play with your friends, you don't always get to experience things with your family, and it's sort of like, it was really cool to see them playing on the same team together. They had a blast, and it was one of my proudest moments, I think, so far as a dad, to see them both enjoy themselves and get involved in something together like that. Especially coming from growing up playing basketball my whole childhood, I had a lot of experiences playing the game, so I knew exactly what they were going through at the time. So it was really cool to see them trying something together. So as luck would have it, they could play in the same age group this season, this term, and I was really thankful for that, because I knew my eldest would probably benefit from being with his brother, and them spending time together like that, it would probably make him more comfortable. He was very excited the last few weeks leading up to it that they'd be in the same team and they could play together. And then the people who organise it all, they do the administration work. They asked if I wanted to coach, if I wanted to put my hand up and coach the team. And I was like, sure. I didn't even really have to think about it, to be honest. The one thing I thought of was that they might never be able to share the same team like that again, whether that's from just the age brackets not working out right. They're like a year and 2 weeks apart. I mean, or this particular scenario could happen at certain points every couple of years where they'll be in the same age bracket if they're still playing the same sport, which is a big if. And I thought, why not? We can have some time together on weekends, and I can be the coach and teach them things the way I think they should be done. And just it would be a gentle introduction, I think, to my eldest, who's a bit more sensitive where it comes to that kind of things, listening to coaches and other adults without getting overwhelmed. And my wife is the team manager, so she'll be helping to organise she'll be helping to organise all the schedules and go between the parents and whatever needs to be done. So it's like a family affair now. It's really, really cool. So I thought I'd start recording all this. Just my thoughts, maybe lessons learned. I love talking about parent stuff and dad stuff, and I don't feel like I get much of an outlet for that. But it's something I think a lot about, and it just makes up a lot about who I am. If you stumbled across this video and you have no idea who I am, my name is Minges. I've been a gamer for as long as I can remember and been into sport for just as long. And now as a dad of two boys, I'm trying to find the balance between all of those things and starting to feel the urge to share my wisdom or things that I've learned over the last few years. I'm kind of in a spot here where I'm making some gaming content, I'm some talking IRL content, and I'm just making some videos of pretty much whatever I want right now. So if you do enjoy this kind of thing, maybe check out the rest of the channel. It's hard to know out here sometimes if you're doing a good job or not. So if you do hit that subscribe button, just know it'll mean the world. So I'll be making these, thoughts, vlogs, whatever you want to call this thing, just sharing my thoughts, lessons learned, what am I expecting to happen. Maybe if my kids watch this in the future, they can see that their old man had no idea what the hell he was doing, and they can look back on this time and hear about what it was like from my point of view. So this is only under 8s, and it is like the introduction level grade. They're on the bottom level, and it's just pretty much making sure all the kids can do the basics and have fun. It's all about having fun, and that's great for me because it's less stressful to try and get results or whatever. And we don't have to there's no worrying about scores and who's winning and all that kind of thing. It's really good as an introduction to kids to have fun in the sport, because there will be a lot of focus when they're older. I know myself from my experiences as teenagers, the pressure to win, the pressure to keep getting better and, not let the team down, not let the coaches down or whatever it is. So this is the fun stage. This is where they get to have fun, make mistakes, and just learn how to play basketball. Learn how to play basic basketball. So I was pretty nervous going into it. We had our first training session today, right after school. Went to go pick up the kids, and the gym's right there. So the coach that they had the previous season was there with I think they're the next level above. There's like the A, B, and C team kind of thing, whatever. And he's super friendly. He offered me, if I needed any help or we wanted to combine training sessions whenever, we can work together, run ideas off each other about what to do. He's a nice guy, and that was really helpful of him. But today it was more sort of just introducing myself to the kids, trying to see what they could do and trying to get them out of their shells to have fun and get to know each other. I just did a thing at the start where we sat in a huddle, and I went over what the expectations were, and that was to have fun, to always encourage your teammates. The one thing I said the one rule. I told them that the one rule that we had as a team was that we were always going to high five and give each other a pat on the back and a well done or shake hands or whatever it is whenever something good happens or whenever someone tries something. And they were their faces, they were smiling when I said that. So I think they liked that encouragement, and that was really cool, I think, for them. So we did line up, and I wanted to see them start dribbling. So I was like, all right, let's walk up here, dribbling with right hand, left hand. And then I said, I think you guys look pretty fast. Are you guys fast? And they're like, yeah. So just trying to I know what it's like with the two boys I have, how to get them to to do things in like in a fun way where you kind of challenge them by like, oh, there's no way you guys can beat me in a race kind of thing. Just to try and get them into that, hey, yeah, I can beat you, and like try and instead of saying to someone, hey, let's see if you can dribble in a straight line, it's more like, hey, let's see if you can do this and beat me kind of thing. And just kids, a lot of kids tend to enjoy not just proving themselves, but like seeing if they can hang kind of thing. Can I? Yeah, I'm gonna beat my parents at this game and whatever it is. It doesn't have to be basketball, but it's something I've picked up on that. Yeah, I managed to utilize that with all the kids today. I was a bit nervous having the parents watch me there because I felt like I visibly they were probably looking at me like this guy has no idea what he's doing, and I didn't half the time. I was kind of just like, all right, well, I had a rough plan in mind, but I also had no idea how long to make each activity last. So it was kind of a bit, all right, we did that. Let's sit down and talk. Let's do something else. Let's sit down and talk. And it was more just saying to the kids, all right, look, hey, we dribbled. I can see that. We shot the ball. Everyone can shoot the ball. That's pretty good. And I said, let's see if we can pass. Can you guys pass to each other? So we did a couple of different passes. Tried to make it a little bit structured where they do a certain type of pass, bounce pass and chest pass. And then I wanted to maybe let them do something stupid. So I was like, all right, let's do fancy passes. Can you guys pass behind your back and between your legs and all that kind of thing? And they, had a fun time doing all that. So it was more just to see, not only for me to get an idea about the level about what I should be teaching them, like can they do some of these basics without me teaching them how exactly to dribble and or shoot or pass and catch the ball. Can they catch the ball? And to be fair, most of them could. And the only other thing I wanted to sort of get my head around with them was their confidence level, like how quickly they would get into it, or maybe they were a bit more timid, a bit shy about whatever it is they're doing. So there's a couple of kids there who were straight into it, were always like chatty about what to do, and they were like, oh, I can do this, and then, hey, look at me do this, and a few others that didn't really say much or kind of looked like they started to fall behind and hang back and didn't really want to put themselves out there too much. We ended up playing a little mini game where I said, I don't care if you guys score, I just want to see how you guys can pass to each other. You get the ball, try and pass to somebody on your team. And a few of them sort of like, if you ever watch kids play and it's like a big swarm of, they just run around and they follow the ball in every direction. It's like a big circle. They don't usually they don't know anything about how to take position and like make space or do anything like that. So that's cool. But a few of them sort of hovered away and sort of stepped back. And that's the ones that I would have to keep an eye on now to try and say, let's move closer, or let's say, hey, pass me the ball kind of thing, and just try and encourage them to get involved, or get them to take the side balls and pass in and encourage the teammates, hey, this person's open, pass. And yeah, it was pretty cool. By the end of it, I think there was like maybe 5 minutes left in our slot for the court, and I didn't know what else to do after playing a game for a couple of minutes. A few of them got hit in the head with the ball, like they missed it or like bumped heads or something. So just wanted to tell them we did this, we did dribbling, we did passing, we did shooting, we played a game. You guys are really, really good. You passed to each other. We got hit in the head, and I said, and I made a show of hands. How many people have ever got hit in the head with a basketball before? And a few of them put their hands up. I put my hand up, and I said, I've been hit in the head so many times with a basketball. It's a lot. And then we talked about that for a couple of minutes, and they were like, yeah, because you get your nose can bleed and all this kind of thing. So just trying to get them to, it's okay. Some of them were close to tears after bumping heads or something, but we can keep going, and they did a good job. So we'll have our first game on the weekend. I have no idea what to expect. I've got to work out a schedule of subs to make sure they all get the same game time. And I just want to make sure that it's a lot of fun for all of them. And as a parent watching, for me last term, it was good to see there was no favorites. There was no we have to win, so we put our best players on all the time, and we take the other kids off, and it's not because it's only under eights, man. It's only kids. They're only learning. They're all there together to have fun and experience something. So that's something I want to. That's my goal, is to try and keep that side of the sport out. I know there sometimes can be parents or coaches that they just can't help it, and that's their competitive side has to come out at all times. And they might yell at the ref, or they might yell at the kid, or they might yell at the coach, because they think they know what to do and all that. And I experienced that a lot as a player growing up. Not with my parents. My parents were pretty good, and they didn't tend to push too much negativity out there during games and all that. But there sometimes can be the angry, aggressive parents there who will yell at other people. They'll yell at the opposition coaches, and they'll yell at the referees, who are only like teenagers most of the time. So I'm very wary about that as watching my kids for the first time playing basketball, and now as a coach, I've got to try and that's something I've really got to focus on. So I haven't had too much experience as a coach, if at all. This is completely fresh and new to me. I have some ideas about what I want to do with the kids to try and get them to have fun and sort of learn about how to pick up fundamentals of the game of basketball while doing fun things without them even really noticing that it's like a drill. And so one of those things is kind of like shadowing somebody. So we split off into pairs, and then one person would dribble, and I said, all right, the other person, you have to follow them, and you have to walk like a crab kind of thing, which teaches them to shadow the person that's dribbling, but also keep their hands up. It's like they're defending. But just try and make it fun and not be like, all right, you have to defend him and you have to stand like this and do that. Kind of just a fun way of doing things. And I'm not sure if like that, for example, was anything I did as a kid. We did do some drills here and there, but it was never made into like a game. Every training session was training, games were a game, and there was kind of like, I don't remember a whole lot of fun and silly things happening in training as a kid. Just for background, I started at this age as well. When I was in under eights, I think I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I played basketball at almost every level up until I was 18, 19, and then I decided to start playing soccer more. I think I was burnt out. The last few years of high school, I was playing in 3 teams at one time, so my weekends contained a Friday night game, a Saturday morning game, and then a Saturday afternoon game, and double training sessions for each of those teams throughout the week. So I had more times playing basketball than days of the week. I played basketball more than the amount of days per week. I don't know how you would say that. So I played all the lower leagues. By the time I was 16 or 17, we made it into the junior state competition, which was like the highest you could go without playing nationals, which was a pretty good achievement. Our team was nowhere near the top of the leagues or anything, but that 1 year was a huge experience. We were playing against kids that were like fully grown. By the time I was a teenager, I was about 6 foot tall, and sort of slowed down after that. I only was about 6'1", 6'2". When I hit 18, I was playing as like a center or a forward, and coming up against kids who like 6'7", 6'8", which was insane to me. The guards on the opposition team were my height or taller. So all the people that were guards on my team, 5 foot something, were tiny, and it was a huge learning curve. We definitely got a lot of tough losses that year, but we also were too good for the level below. So we were kind of in the middle. Making that junior state level is one of my proudest achievements, because I don't think I was a special player or anything. Like I wouldn't consider myself extremely talented, but we just worked our way there, and we managed to make it. But I've always taken lessons. I've had some bad coaches in the 10, 15 years I was playing. I had some really good coaches too. But I think you tend to remember the bad ones and some of the lessons learned from them. Things that you don't want to do and you don't want to have recurring down the chain as you become older and maybe you become a coach. But that's it. So I'll probably make these weekly, whether it's just after the training or just after a game. I'm not sure if I'll do both. We'll see if I feel like I've got a lot to talk about, but this is episode 1 of The Coach, and if you've made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. And if there's anything that you've taken out of this, please let me know in the comments. And if there's anything you wish to share to help me out, please let me know as well. I'm an open book and I'm happy to be told whatever nuggets of information and lessons learned over the years from any of you guys out there. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.